I will now call the November 6, 2017 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. We have visiting with us tonight Boy Scout Troop 4813 from Timothy Lutheran. They're going to make their way up here, and when I turn around and point at you, we'll have you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you want to start making your way up here, because what we're going to do is we're going to observe a moment of silence before I have you lead us in the pledge. So once you get positioned, we will stand, observe a moment of silence, and then I will turn to you, and that's when you'll lead us in the pledge.
Of the United States of America.
When I look at you now, I'm looking at you, so go ahead and start. Go ahead.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So you didn't make it in time to listen to those instructions, did you? I'm sure your fellow troopers are not going to give you a hard time about it. Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda. Are there items that need to be pulled? If not, accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kaler.
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Next, we'll accept a motion to continue the rezoning on Tidal Wave Auto Parts to the December 4th council meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries. Introduction and reading of Bill 4527.
I'll introduce you, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4527, an ordinance authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and delivery of not to exceed $12,735,000 principal amount of City of Blue Springs, Missouri General Obligation Refunding Bonds, Series 2017A, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
Okay, we're going to go to Ms. Cates for an explanation.
Yes, Sid Douglas with Gilmore Bell, our bond counsel, is going to explain some amendments we'd like for you to consider this evening.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Sid Douglas with Gilmore & Bell. We do have minor inconvenience for you this evening. We are proposing to make an amendment to the original ordinance that was in your packets before. We got thrown a curveball last week with some of the information we got from Congress. The House of Representatives is proposing a tax bill that includes some provisions that would eliminate the ability of the city to do advanced refundings of any of the finances that they've done on governmental projects in the future, and that would be for anything that would be done after January 1st, 2018. As a result of that, we originally provided in the ordinance that the redemption date or the opportunity to prepay any of this debt would be in March of 2026. In light of that inability to advance refundings in the future that's being proposed, it's not, finalized yet. We'll have to see what the Senate's going to come out with their version of the tax bill, hopefully later this week, but in advance of your sale, that we'll like to at least reconsider making that redemption date a little bit shorter. It'll be a fine-tuned balancing between moving the redemption date to a sooner date and what impact that might have on the interest rates that would be bid for the financing. We're trying to make sure that we continue to reduce the interest rates and accomplish significant savings for the city, and so we want to balance that, but we also want to be in a position where we could take advantage of paying this off if future markets would allow the flexibility to do that. So we are, there was three parts of the ordinance. There's section 202 that has provisions related to authorizing the bonds and setting the parameters. And rather than having the redemption date of being 2026, we're saying that it'll be not later than 2026, so that we have the ability to move that up at what makes the most financial sense. The section 301 is the actual redemption feature, and it says the same thing, that it'll be not later than 2026. And then in the bond form itself, we've blanked out the date of when that redemption would occur based on when the decision is made as what the redemption date will be as we are receiving the bids for the bonds. I'll be glad to answer any questions about that. And like I said, sorry for the inconvenience, but we did get thrown a big surprise by Congress last week.
Certainly, it's not an inconvenience if you're going to protect us with the amendment, so.
That's
Are there
the
any
idea.
questions? Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
I'll introduce it.
Okay, so it's been introduced.
Yep. And there was first reading.
Right, we got
Okay,
to
so,
do the first reading.
Your Honor, I'll move that we
Well,
approve.
she hadn't read it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you read
I
it?
read it. Mhm.
Yeah, I think she
Well, I must
did.
have been asleep when you did that.
So following that reading, I'll
Introduce the amendment.
move to approve Bill number 4527 on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Is it when you want to offer the amendment?
Now we'll offer the amendment.
Anyone like to offer the amendment?
I can read the proposed amendment for so moved. Move to amend Bill number 4527 as follows. This is kind of lengthy, so bear with me. Amend section 202 to add the words, "and shall be subject to redemption not later than 2026" to the end of the second to last sentence to read as follows. Description of bonds. The bonds shall consist of fully registered bonds without coupons numbered from R1 upward in order of issuance, and shall be issued in denominations of $5,000 or any integral multiple thereof. All of the bonds shall be dated, their date of delivery, shall become due in the amounts on the stated maturities, and shall bear interest at the respective rates per annum as set forth in certificate of final terms, provided that the bonds shall have the final maturity date no later than 2029, shall have a weighted average maturity of not less than 5.5 years and not more than 8.5 years, shall bear interest at various interest rates not to exceed a true interest cost of 3% per annum, shall provide net present value savings of at least 5% of the principal amount of refunded bonds, and shall be subject to redemption not later than 2026. The final terms of the bond shall be specified in the certificate of final terms attached hereto as Exhibit B upon the execution thereof, and the signature of the mayor of the city executing the certificate of final terms shall constitute conclusive evidence of the mayor's approval of the city's approval thereof. Substitute section 301 to read as follows. Section 301, redemption of bonds. Subparagraph A, at the option of the city, bonds shall be called for redemption and payment in whole or in part at any time not later than March 1, 2026, and thereafter at the redemption price of 100% of the principal amount thereof, plus accrued interest upon their interest thereon, to the redemption date, consistent with the terms for the bonds permitted in section 202 herein, and amend the fourth paragraph of page A2 of Exhibit A to remove the year 2026, leaving the year blank.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now we need a motion to approve the first reading as amended.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I think you need a
Second reading.
second reading. There we go. Second reading of Bill number 4527 as amended, an ordinance authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and delivery of not to exceed $12,735,000 in principal amount of City of Blue Springs, Missouri general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2017A, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4697.
Next, we need a motion to adopt resolution, back up. Item number 6, introduction and reading of Bill 4528.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4528, an ordinance approving final plat for the Villas of Chapman Farms, third plat, lots 85 through 113, tracks H, I, and N, replat of part of Lot 19, Chapman Farms, first plat, lots 1 through 35.
Move the
Move the
bill be approved.
on its first reading and proceed with the second.
The other person can say second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign.
Second reading of Bill Number 4528, an ordinance approving final plat for the Villas of Chapman Farms, third plat, lots 185 through 113, tracks H, I, and N, replat of part of Lot 19, Chapman Farms, first plat, lots 1 through 35.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4698.
Now we have a resolution. Adopt Resolution 85-2017, approving a development and maintenance agreement with Brookside Investment Company.
I'll introduce it.
No, just so moved.
Oh, so moved then.
Second.
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 Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That brings us to mayoral announcements. We're going to go straight to thoughts to, well, first of all, before I go to thoughts to pundit, again, we're confronted in this nation with senseless killings, that you're not even safe in church anymore. Where again, a deranged person went into a church in Texas, basically killed 20-something people and wounded 30-something, which is half of the size of that congregation, which is 100 people. And so our thoughts and prayers are with the families that lost loved ones and those that are injured, and also for this nation and the world, matter of fact, with all the nonsense that's going on with people not valuing life. And if they don't value their own lives, they don't value yours. And so we're hoping that it'll stop. I'm not optimistic with all the things that are going on in the world today. Now we'll go to thoughts to pundit. You've heard this particular one a lot of times, but I guess I didn't realize it until I looked it up that Peter Marshall is the person that's responsible for it. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. End quote. No visitors' appearance forms, so I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye? All same sign. We adjourn.